And then we just wait for Professor, and there he is. There we go. How are you, Professor?
I'm doing great, except for we're not doing anything.
We're not doing anything. I know.
Get back to work.
I want to go back so bad, too. I can't wait for this whole thing to be over. I don't know when it's going to be over. When do you think Charlie's going to reopen?
I'm going to guess that as far as Arlington Cemetery goes, I would say around the 18th of May, and that could be a good time for Trolley also. 18th of May is the Monday before Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a big deal, as you can imagine, at Arlington National Cemetery. And so if we can kick it off, get a few days under our belt, be ready to hit Memorial Day, that'll be great.
Oh my gosh, I hope you're right. What have you been doing with yourself?
Spending a whole lot of time binge watching. I've got about 5 acres of grass to mow. Luckily, I have the equipment to do it properly. I have a old antique car that's in several hundred pieces that I'm slowly putting back together. And also, I'm writing another book. I'm expanding the book I did on people buried in Washington associated with the Lincoln assassination.
Yeah.
I'm taking it nationally, people all across the country. I'm not going quite as deep as I did, for example, witnesses and expert people who were testifying during the trial, but I'm doing a lot of the people that went after John Wilkes Booth. For example, at Arlington National Cemetery, we have Lieutenant Edward Doherty, who led the 16th Virginia Cavalry and captured John Wilkes Booth in Caroline County. But it's going to start with Abraham Lincoln and go all the way down to some lesser knowns that have interesting stories. I figure it's about a year away. The other 2 I did with a friend, and this one I'm doing solo. I do have a friend who has written and published over 20 books. So he is going to help me, and my daughter is going to help me with the formatting. I'm not a computer whiz, but this will be richly illustrated, not just the pictures of the people and their grave sites, but interspersed in there pictures of Ford's Theater, pictures of relics and artifacts from the assassination. It should be a lot of fun. When you can say the Lincoln assassination is fun, what more could you ask for?
So what are you binge watching? Are you watching Tiger King?
I watched 1 episode of Tiger King. I've never really gotten into watching series, never watched The Sopranos before. So I'm watching The Sopranos. Boston Legal, the show that came out with James Spader and William Shatner. And then something completely different, Guardians of the Amazon, Python hunters down in Florida. So 3 very different things to watch. You can't go wrong when the lead character in this show is named Dusty Crumb. Well, it's an entertaining show. We have a huge python problem in Florida, and these guys go out, hunt pythons, and bring them in and get paid for them. It's kind of an interesting show. The genres are so completely different. A legal show, criminal mafioso show, and python hunters.
What do you miss most about giving tours?
I miss the camaraderie that we have, not only with all of our coworkers who are just absolutely terrific people, but also building that rapport, that relationship with our guests. And on the Arlington National Cemetery side, you have a lot of people there who are visiting Arlington for all the right reasons, to pay homage to those who have served our country, and in many cases, given their lives for that. And there are so many compelling stories at Arlington. It's wonderful to be able to share it with our guests and be able to see that you're getting through to them the meaning of what this place is.
There's always reroutes, but no matter what the reroute is, what's the one story that you always tell?
Well, sort of the history of the cemetery, how it became such a hallowed place, the story of the Lee family. The size of the cemetery is very compelling when you tell people how large it is, how many are laid to rest there. Normally, this time of year, we would have somewhere around 30 funerals a day. You think about that, that's a funeral starting more than every 15 minutes, because they do have a break for lunch. When you think about that level of activity and the dedication of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, truly a remarkable place.
Is there anything that you don't miss at all?
The commute.
How long is your commute? Because you live in Maryland.
Yeah, I live up not too far from Frederick. I'm always an early riser, so I've always gotten in early. I can get in under an hour. Getting home is the challenge. And so sometimes it's an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half.
So what's the one thing you're going to change when you come back? Because, I mean, we're going to come back.
We are definitely going to come back. Probably not going to be shaking hands. Probably going to be doing fist bumps. And that's understandable in this day and age. I'm in the high risk category for two reasons. One, my age, and two, my immune system, deeply compromised from lots of chemo. But it's something that we will have a new normal.
I got 5 stupid questions. I think you can learn everything you need to know about a person when you ask them 5 stupid question. If you could make one of your body parts detachable without any negative repercussions, what body part would it be and why?
Well, I've already had that body part detached when I had my surgery for breast cancer. Men do not need mammary glands. 1 in every 10,000 breast cancer cases is male. So breast cancer affects about 20% of the women, and of that 20%, 1 in 10,000 might be men. So I've already had that detached. I had a radical mastectomy. My right side definitely feels different from my left side. It has for over 5 years now. There are worse things to lose.
All right, you've been tossed into an insane asylum. What do you tell people to prove to them that you don't belong there?
Well, probably I explain that I don't belong here for any myriad of reasons. And if you don't let me out, I will eat your face off.
Let's say you got banned from the local library. What would be the reason for you being banned at the local library?
Probably walking around muttering to myself and rewriting the Lincoln assassination verbally.
The zombie apocalypse has begun. You have an SUV and a baseball bat. Where are you going?
Down to the National Mall for batting practice. Let's face it, I think up on Capitol Hill, there's already a lot of zombies.
What are 3 things you could buy at a grocery store to make the cashier give you weird looks?
Well, it would have to be only those 3 things. Women's stockings,
all right,
red shoe polish, and canned okra.
Well, okay. Professor, thank you so much for doing this, man.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun. Abe, we don't get to see each other very often, but I do miss you.
I miss you too, man. Is there anything you want to say to the World Wide Web?
Hey, just it's been a lot of fun, and we got to get back to work and keep Washington on its toes. Always a pleasure.
The pleasure is all yours.
Yes, it is. I'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.